the time. So Science Rambles. Ramble Science, that's what we're going to go ahead and call it.
Yep, the Science Ramble.
Science Rambles. So this week, what all have we covered already? First off, how about Nintendo? Them dropping their product prediction by half for the profit margin this year.
As my inner kid screams, my adult self is, understanding. The company's going the way of the dodo bird. All their hardware is underpowered. Their games are old. They're just becoming more and more irrelevant, as kids are more likely to have one of these than a Game Boy. So.
Well, actually, Nintendo's been taking a lot of steps recently, making new IPs, developing their own products. Let's see, so Splatoon launched last year. While it only sold like 14 million copies, that was almost one for every unit of Wii U there was. So, I mean, that hit it out of the park for the Wii U.
That is good, but that still, I don't think that would be enough to save Nintendo, just because they're so far behind in terms of gaming, and their market share is dropping drastically just because of, like I said, the phones.
Well, also, there's been a lot of rumors that's popped up recently. The Wii U's, not the Wii U, the NX, the next console that they're talking about.
I heard about that.
They're talking about it having, like, running most at 900p, like, not even full 1080p.
That would get them right to where the Xbox One and PS4 are already, and people are already giving them flack for that. That's not good, and they're already thinking about making a shorter life cycle for this gaming generation.
Well, with all the rumors going around, there's also talk of cloud processing, getting everything like on the cloud. All the NX consoles work together,
even when it's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a rumor going around that, maybe it'll come with something like the Wii U, a little tablet thing, but you'll be able to take it anywhere rather than having to have the within like 100 feet of the Wii U or something.
Now that would be cool if they made it to where it was like an app.
The PSP.
Yeah, well, maybe not dedicated hardware, more like dedicated software that you download on your phone, kind of like Xbox Smart Glass on steroids.
I don't know. They've done something with apps recently. They've invested a lot in a bunch of app companies. They've been going in that direction, but they haven't directly said, this is what we're doing. Nintendo is really good about buying up a lot of property and then going into... the previous owner, Miyazaki, or not Miyazaki, oh goodness, I forgot the CEO, the deceased CEO of Nintendo, but he had this like blue ocean approach.
Yeah.
He'd always just try to aim for what nobody else was doing. So while consoles are fighting over like frames per second and how good the graphics look, they're over here making a game that you stand up to play, and that's how the Wii came into existence.
Yeah, that was definitely a savior for them.
Yeah, that was something that knocked it out of the park. It was something that was encouraging for everyone of all ages, whether you're an old person or, really young. It was good for everyone to play, easy to understand.
And they were cheap, too, compared to the competition.
Yeah, because they were underpowered.
They were underpowered, using older tech, making it cheaper to manufacture. Yeah, that's Nintendo's go-to, though.
Yeah, well, you don't see a lot of Nintendo games going for, like, ultra-realism, Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare type thing. You see them mostly...
It's kind of like they could.
Well, they do port them over, but it's not like...
terrible.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same as being on the the PC or any of the other consoles. They've got a very interesting approach coming, and I don't know what they're going to be doing here this next year. With the article that I read, there was a rumor saying that it's going to launch this year, maybe? They haven't announced it yet. It'd be questionable for them to do that.
That would be a shock to have something announced at probably E3 and then have it launched that Christmas season. That's pushing it.
Well, it's a bad idea in a market analysis purpose, just because we've got VR launching this month. We've got the Oculus Rift came out this month. We've got the Samsung VR gears come out.
Can I get pee, please?
They got the Samsung VR that came out this month. They've got all these other VR headsets coming out soon, and that's where maybe a lot of Christmas money is going to be going.
Maybe if people have the PC to run it, but that's something I hope that they would put into their next product is VR, because it seems like that's the way to go. I know they tried it back in the 90s and it failed, so
nobody wants to talk about that. What was it called?
I don't know. I can't remember.
The red thing. It looked horrible. It
Terrible
burned your
graphics.
eyes.
Yeah. Let me look it up.
You gotta have Google ready to go. Just Boom, right on the
Yep, pretty much.
old VR.
Oh, it's the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy. Yeah. So the Virtual Boy was a complete failure. It was supposed to be the next revolution in gaming, and it never took off. It sucked.
Another problem with underpowered tech. Can't put it out too early.
I know. Well, with Nintendo, that's what I'm afraid that they may not be going in that VR direction because that's where everyone else is headed, and that's what they try to do is go away from that.
There's got to be to a point where they have to follow market trends, otherwise they will die. It's just not good. It's like saying I want a pizza, but you give me a donut. I don't want it. So I'm not in the mood for breakfast. I'm in the mood for pizza. So same approach comes to gaming. So
yeah, Japanese. I mean, they're a Japanese company. They're not here in America. They've got a different market. They make their own money over there. It's not all their money coming from the American economy. One thing I am excited though for something they announced this month is there is a company making the Sword Art Online video game.
what?
Yeah.
I haven't heard a thing about this.
Oh, have you seen the anime though?
Yeah,
Okay, so they're going to be making that game real.
that's awesome. Because I hate anime, but that was awesome. You got it. It got me into it
Oh
actually.
my god, I loved it. It was amazing. I love the possibility of it. But it's really scary sounding because they're opening up the beta to only 1,000 people, and they're actually making themselves sound like they're from the anime.
Now that would be cool.
Like they're like 1,000 people are going to get trapped in the game for life, and if you die in the game, you die in real life. That would not be cool. That would be bad. Let's
would be
not
bad.
do that, please. Let's see. Besides that, Ubisoft hostile takeover. I told you a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah, that sounds like a load of shit.
Yeah, I forget the gentleman's name who did it, but he bought 50% of the company. And Ubisoft has been encouraging people to invest in their company just to make his 50% less. That way he doesn't own half the company.
Yeah, I would hate to see some sort of weird port where Assassin's Creed is like part of Call of Duty or something because of this.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ways for Ubisoft to kind of fight this, and one way would be for them to pretty much take a poison pill and demarket their company, or devalue their company to try to get them to sell. Just make it where he waste his money, pretty much.
That would not be a good outcome.
There's a lot of things that they can do to try to fight this, but...
Is it really that terrible, though?
Well, I mean, he just kind of waltzes in, takes control over the company, and will have creative say-so over the video games that they've been making for years.
Well, what if it's like a really good thing?
Well, it depends how much you read into Ubisoft games, because they've been developing this galaxy of their own, where in a lot of Ubisoft games, you'll notice that in Assassin's Creed, you've got the eagle vision, or the assassin vision, or whatever. In Watch Dogs, you kind of got this vision where you can see the technology through walls. In Far Cry Primal, you're able to see through bushes to see enemies and animals and all that.
Yeah.
And that's a factor that they've made into this own universe and galaxy, like this whole family tree. That's everyone in these games are related in one way or another.
Right. It's kind of like a design language for cars, but for games.
Yeah, they realize that, thanks to comic books doing this back in the 90s and 80s and stuff, people love crossovers. They love that detailed story, and that's what Ubisoft has been working for.
Yeah.
And somebody can come in there and just slap it all across right off the table and screw it all up for them.
We'll have to see how this goes because it could be a good thing, it's probably going to be a bad thing, but let's just hope it turns out okay.
Yeah. But pretty much the people who bought them was Universal Music Group is what I remember now. So,
That's who it was?
Yeah, Universal Studios, the movie company, they make music. Yeah.
They're trying to get a video game
publisher, developer.
Yeah. Yep. Maybe they're just trying to diversify. Maybe they won't touch it. Maybe they'll leave it on the back burner.
Yeah, they could do the Fox thing like they did with Deadpool and, take the hands-off approach, let them just kind of guide the ship on their own so it doesn't sink.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good way to do it.
But they will protect their investment if it does start to sink, so.
Yeah, hopefully they'll realize that, hey, we messed up, let's not do that.
I just hope no really crappy video game movie ports come out because of this.
I noticed that it did happen quite soon after Ubisoft announced that there's not going to be an Assassin's Creed game this year. I don't know if the value of their company dropped because the game wasn't coming out this year and some people sold off their shares, or you think that might have had a factor in it?
I have no idea, man. Be honest with you,
It's hard to say with business.
Yeah, it could be a good thing, though, because if you put too many games out in a row, you start to have that Call of Duty effect where everyone's like, oh, it's the same freaking game.
Yeah, nobody wants to buy it.
Yep. It's better to stand back and look and see what you need to do rather than just pump out a whole bunch of garbage.
Yeah. What else has happened this week? So, the car, the Green Leaf, whatever the Nissan.
Oh, this is the Nissan Leaf.
Yeah, the Nissan Leaf.
It's got a back door in the software. Turns out, not per se, not to say a back door so much as a very obvious bug. You can, if you download the Leaf app and you know the VIN number to any Leaf out there, you can take control of it, basically.
Yeah, from what I understood, they could locate where you've been, control the radio and lights while you're driving.
Yep.
And, nothing to, like, slam on the brakes or control which way you're going. Just,
yeah, those have their own separate subsystems, but...
I mean, it's still enough to scare you, like, making you think your car's haunted or something while you're driving down the road.
Right. Anything that you can control from the app, they can control.
It's just, there was no way to verify ownership of the vehicle.
Which is very bad.
Yeah, especially since the VIN is kind of, on the front windshield where anybody can just walk up and see it.
Right. They should probably put, like, some sort of GPS locator inside the car and on the phone so that way it only activates if you're within the car or very close.
Like a 10-yard radius or something?
Yeah, just like a smart key that you don't have to plug it into the dash. You just hit the start button. You have to be inside the car for that to work. Same thing for this app.
That would be a smart idea.
Or at least, it could be in the garage and you're like, well, let's turn it on and heat it up a little bit,
We'll see what Nissan comes up with. They'll have some time to fix this. They've got all the time in the world. People are either going to buy the car or they aren't.
Probably not.
Maybe not with this back door being announced.
Yeah, that and the sales are already slumping. It was a money pit for them just to get an electric car out there and put their name in the market, but it's ugly, it's slow, doesn't have the best range. I mean, just electric car problems. The only car company to ever overcome that, in my mind, would be Tesla. But even so, they're expensive. So
yeah, they've really designed it. They took the whole Apple approach. Hey, this is high class type thing. It's going to be expensive, but it's going to be worth it.
Right. And that's not the Nissan Leaf. The Nissan Leaf is an Econo box compared to that.
Yeah.
It technically is an Econo box. It just...
What are they starting off at? Like, what, $50,000?
No, they're cheaper than that.
Cheaper than $50,000?
They're in the 30s. What's the current cost of a Nissan Leaf?
God. Sorry for headphone users.
Yeah, sorry.
What do you got there?
Well, looks like, as soon as my webpage is... $21,510 starting MSRP.
Now, is that with all the features, or is that just...
No, that's starting. That's the basic model. But still, for an electric car...
That's cheap.
That's cheap. Crazy cheap. And so, you don't get the range, you don't get the cool features. It's just a basic car that uses electricity instead of gas.
Well, besides, having your car hacked into, what was it? What's the name of the company? Fermilab discovered a new Tetraquark. Did you... know anything about that, or?
Yeah, I heard they got the Hadron Collider back up and running and discovered that product or particle with it. No?
Just information that was left over from whenever it got shut down in 2011. They've been analyzing that information since, and they've cross-referenced it, made sure that they...
Oh, it's old stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was...
It's just now been announced, is the thing. It's...
Okay.
We've been looking at this information that we've had for years. We've been cross-analyzing it. We can confirm now that this is a whole new element. This is pretty much...
A particle, yeah.
With regular atom, you've got, your electron, proton, neutron. Mm-hmm. Or maybe even just a electron and proton.
And then deeper in, what makes up a proton or a neutron or any of that stuff is a quark.
Yeah. And normally it's just limited to 2 or 3 quarks. And very few elements are known to have 4 quarks, which they've found a new one. Yep. After they've, had a hydrogen collider going and everything like that. It's been smashing it. We'll just ignore phone calls.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else has been going on in the news? So, what do you know about the Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg? Have you heard anything about that, or is that all me again?
He created Facebook, I know that.
So, in Germany, it's a severe issue apparently with pretty much hate mail against migrants coming in from the war that's going on over in Iraq, Syria, all that stuff.
Yeah. And
refugees have been flocking in, and apparently the hate mail has gotten out of control.
And so Facebook wants to crack down on it, huh?
Yeah, and it's pretty much... Mark Zuckerberg himself apparently went to Germany, had to study the culture, the history, find out what's going on, try to figure out why there's so much, just hate speech going on against immigrants. and he's trying to kind of smooth that over and get that off of Facebook. Pretty much, he just wants Facebook to be a friendly place for everyone and have no one discouraged from using it.
Exactly. You don't want to have some sort of 1960s kind of United States era hate going on. It's supposed to be nice and usable by everybody. It's a free service that should be able to be used by anyone.
America's got a long history of racism, but Germany won this one this time.
They have a pretty bad history of it too, if you don't recall.
According to Germany, nothing happened between 1910 and 1950. That part of history's just gone.
Yeah, I don't think they existed for a little while.
Yeah, it's just
Lost Island style.
Oh, burn all the papers, white it all out. No one will ever know.
Pretty much.
All right, and YouTube. I know you've heard about the WTFU campaign that's been going on. The Where's the Fair Use?
Mm-hmm.
New development there. The CEO of YouTube has finally broke her silence and has admitted that they are currently working on their policies.
Yeah, I read up on a little bit of that.
Yeah, she just yesterday tweeted about it. They released some information from their policy team. And within the next couple of months, they're going to be reviewing their policies, fine-tuning them, and try to stop all the mistakes that they've been making, pretty much.
Yeah, that would be the best thing in their case.
Whenever your company is big enough that other companies are able to make money off of misusing your product, you might want to take a step back and try to figure out what you did wrong.
Yep.
It's a little bad there. What else we got going on this week?
Well, as soon as you are able to, we're going to be building your new PC rig so we can edit and record and do much more stuff on here.
That's going to be awesome, but waiting on money on that one.
Yeah, I know, but as soon as you get it, it's going to be rolling, so just stay tuned. You'll like the videos even more then.
We'll be getting a new camera, new computer, new software to work with. Pretty much we're going to be upgrading everything all around. The picture quality is going to be a lot better. I'll be able to put a lot more effort into editing, which is going to be wonderful. The videos have been lacking up till now. I'm even going to be trying to work on advertisement of the channel, try to get our subscriber count up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that quality to increase, kind of get a library of videos going first.
Yeah, it's okay to have the first few be bad quality, but it's something cool to look back on once your channel takes off anyway.
Yeah.
So
where we were then, where we are now.
Yeah, go look at any popular YouTuber. You'll see it's all junk, and then it looks amazing.
Have you seen PewDiePie's early videos?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they were just garbage.
Yeah, it was awesome, though.
It was.
You got to start somewhere.
Have you seen his new YouTube Red exclusive series?
I have YouTube Red, but I have not watched any of them.
I've watched episode 1 and episode 7, which are both free to the public without the YouTube Red.
Ooh,
and
I'll have to get you the YouTube Red.
It does seem a little staged. It just like PewDiePie knows something's going to be happening, but he doesn't know what's going to be happening. He just knows that he's going to be going into a situation being scared, and they're going to be trying to scare him the entire time.
Yeah.
And just all sorts of weird stuff is going on. He's got like a stalker in one episode. He gets a overprotective security guard.
I'm going to have to go watch these now.
Yeah.
See ya. Just kidding.
Then let's see. What else has been going on in the news? Have we had any good big video game launches? Nothing really. Slime Rancher, actually. Have you heard of that game?
Not a bit.
It is gaining popularity on YouTube. It's recently released. It's in beta.
It's a beta game right now?
Maybe an alpha even. But it's $20 on Steam. What it pretty much involves is exactly what it sounds like. It's a ranching simulator, but you have slimes, pretty much. You feed them,
flubber.
You get money. Yeah, flubber. You got all sorts of different stuff. I might do a video or two playing that game whenever we get the new rig set up. Maybe with this PC, we'll see how that works. It's
Your
fun
next one
game.
will definitely be able to do it.
Yeah, the next one will be able to do that. I'm looking into starting a separate channel, gaming channel, something for me and him to record together, even just solo videos, one or the other.
Yeah, we can both get on there and get it going.
We're waiting on software and equipment upgrades for us to get that going.
Shipping sucks.
The PC price sucks. That's what really sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else have we got going on this? We've got a long list of articles here. Oh, the growing sperm in a lab.
Ugh.
Did you read that story?
Stem cells. I don't get it. What?
So,
Why?
it's not human sperm. It was rat sperm.
Oh, it was rat. Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's just in animal testing right now. But they were able to make a female rat pregnant with artificially created male sperm. And the baby was, like, the rats were born healthy. Completely fine. Normal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really crazy what they're doing nowadays. I mean, I thought it was crazy when they had glow-in-the-dark rabbits, but this is even more. Okay, where were we? Labs?
We were talking about the artificially grown rat sperm.
Yeah. How, was it just as effective as the normal?
Yeah, just as effective. It produced a healthy offspring. Everything seemed normal. They've done it to, like, a couple of different rats from what I understand, and they just released a paper about their findings and how they completed the process. So I'm curious on where that's going to go. It's going to be really a big development for humans that are infertile, aren't able to have kids of their own.
That would
way
be very cool.
They'll be able to just have kids.
There's one way to do that if you can produce eggs and can produce sperm. It's called surrogate mothering. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I know, like, the news, whenever it first happened, called it, like, a test tube baby or whatever.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, it's still weird, though.
It is weird. It's interesting. It's not natural, but, I mean, it's able to do things that we never thought really possible before.
Yep.
Let's see. We've also... Recently, there was the boy who won the female-oriented science fair over in the UK. Pretty much, it was... originally an all-female science fair that was supposed to encourage girls to get into science and everything like that, into being an engineer and stuff. And this year, or last year, they opened it up to both sexes, both male and female. And with a boy winning first prize, apparently it's controversial. Apparently, it's a double standard that doesn't matter there.
If a competition was designed for girls, though, I think it should be only girls, and then one for if they're going to do that, they should have one for boys and then a co-ed one.
Yeah, I mean, they could have approached it much differently. They could have had strictly girls, strictly boys, co-ed, or even just strictly boy, strictly girl.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wanted to raise hell enough to make the co-ed one, they could, but it would be cool to see. Well, hell, we could even do it this way. We could have the boy and girl one, or we could do the boys and then the girls, and then we could do a co-ed one against the best.
Well, what it was is, it was an all-girl one, and then, it was a double standard, it's sexist if, we have an all-boys one, but it's not sexist if they have an all-girls one, so then they allowed boys, but then now that a boy won, they're hollering, it's not fair because it was supposed to be for girls to begin with, and it's like, one or the other. I mean, the second, third, and fourth place were all females as well. I mean, just the boy won first place. It was
It just so happened. Yeah, I don't think they should be getting their panties in a wad over that.
Yeah, well, the winning prize, the winning project, if anyone's wondering, was a controller that could charge itself through using the thumbsticks. And it would just be from, like, coiled tension built up behind the joysticks or something. It's a really cool design.
Cool. Kind of like that watch I had that I could just shake and it would charge itself.
So we've had the radio flash tracked from a faraway galaxy and could be new wow signal. Okay, so yeah, the radio flash, faraway galaxy. What did you read about that?
I read that it was pretty much like the wow signal it picked up in the 70s or 80s. I think it was the 70s. And that they're very excited about it. Now, that could mean that it's another communication from... I didn't look to see if it was the same place in the stars that they picked it up or not, but if it was, that could mean it was another communication just like the one before, and that would almost prove alien life, and we would try to communicate almost instantly with them.
It was from a new place. Never before have we had a signal.
Damn.
Here's the thing, though. They're having a hard time explaining it, which is good. That's really good.
That is really good.
Their best guess was 2 neutron stars, so 2 dead stars that were pretty much like spitting giant balls of magnetism that were just launching energy out into space, crashed together and created this event that we recorded. And while it is one possibility, it's small chances, small probability, and that's good. Whenever science can't explain something, that's very good.
We have to go find the correct answer. That's good.
And even if the correct answer isn't extraterrestrial life, eventually we got that possibility.
Yeah.
Whenever we finally find something that we definitely can't prove, that's actual evidence towards
Or if we
other
can
life.
prove it and it says, "Hi, we're aliens." That would be cool.
That would be awesome. If we can like decrypt the signal and it turns out it's
Right.
a communication array, that would be awesome.
Actually,
But I wouldn't hold my breath. It's going to be a while if we ever find aliens.
this might be another bit of a throwback, but back to what we said earlier about YouTube Red and then corresponding to the WoW signal. Have you seen the new? Was it Rooster Teeth?
Rooster Teeth Laser Team?
Yeah.
I have seen the trailers. I have wanted to see it, but I have not signed up for my free month of YouTube Red to watch it.
I can't believe you. I pay for Google Play Music, so it comes with a free YouTube Red key. So I've watched it.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I
maybe I should get Google Play now.
yeah, I probably would. So it's a pretty cool little show, and
I
it's
promise it's not sponsored. This is not a sponsored podcast.
No, I just thought it was neat because that video shows what actually happened with the WoW signal and whatnot, and it turns out it was actually aliens, and it was an actual thing that they decrypted, and they didn't have a hard time with it, and it turns out that some aliens were sending us a signal to warn us about some even worse aliens, and they were sending us some armor. Yeah, some gear. So basically that's what the previews say and whatnot, so I won't spoil it too
That's
much.
like the first 5 minutes of the movie, pretty much.
Yeah, that was it.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll probably do another podcast at a later point whenever I see it. That way we can give a review of that movie.
It's been out for a little while, but yeah, we'll do it for sure because it's a pretty cool little video.
I was going to see it here in Springfield whenever they were showing it in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
But they had this weird thing where, you could set up your own shows and stuff, and there was only one showing that happened here in Springfield. And
Yeah.
it sold out by the time I found out about it. I looked and looked for like a month, and there was nothing in Springfield. I couldn't find anything. And then one day it just showed up, and it was sold out the same day.
That sucks.
And there was only like 150 tickets.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense if they're only showing one showing. It's not a big moneymaker for them, although it sounds like it could have been, being that it sold out like that, but I don't think they wanted to put the effort into it.
Well, they could have given it a week.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have cut into the profits that much.
Well,
But
what else came out that week? That might help us determine.
2 weeks later, Deadpool came out. A month before Star Wars came out. Star Wars was about a month and a half old by this point.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. They got other cash crops.
yeah, I mean, Zoolander came out. Zoolander 2. There's a couple of other movies.
Let's see.
But there was a whole bunch of things that were also interfering with that. And the passive Wi-Fi. So that one's a very interesting concept. So instead of a Wi-Fi signal that just sends out in all directions at all times, and then your phone picks up the signal and sends out a signal off to other devices and stuff to show that it's connected.
Yeah.
Instead, it would be one signal coming from the router and being reflected off your phone. So that it's not putting any more energy into it. It's just bouncing it around.
That would be very nice.
So while it's a weaker signal and it can't go as far, it can still go up to like 21 gigabits per second.
It's still really fast.
Yeah, which is incredibly fast for a fraction of the energy. That'd be a great way to start putting them at like bus stops or,
Put them all along the side of the highway so you don't have to put Wi-Fi in your car. We just put it in the side of the road and then boom.
Well, I mean, that's about as big of a power waster as having, street lights. Personally, I'm against having street lights on 24/7.
Well, let's think about it this way. It could be a replacement for the really expensive radio towers. Instead, we could do voice over network and have our cell phones connected at all times to Wi-Fi, even though, that's not possible at the moment. You have to go to McDonald's to get on the Wi-Fi or something if you're not at home. But with this technology, it could be possible.
I think the IRA, not the International Radio Association, not the Internal Revenue Service,
Yeah.
but the IRA would have something to say about that. They really wouldn't want to go out of business to free
Forget them.
internet.
They're old. They're old. Forget them.
They control the economy. They play a large factor in it, man.
Yeah.
When you're throwing that much money around, it really messes with people. Just like with YouTube, that's why they've had all these issues with copyright. I'm backpedaling here, but back with this YouTube issue, the reason why they're having all these problems is because there's a lot of freaking videos being uploaded to YouTube every second. I think it's like every minute there's like 200 hours of video uploaded.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah, it is a large number. It's just there's no way you can monitor all of it, and the only way they could do it is building the system, and it kind of favored the bigger companies because the bigger companies kind of had the money to throw at it, and they throw towards advertisements, and it's kind of pulling the YouTube company in that direction. Google, since they're open to shareholders, they got to make money for shareholders. It's not as much.
Exactly right.
I mean, YouTube needs to focus on its creators. It's just we'll see what happens in those next couple of months. If YouTube can get their stuff together, I think they're still going to have a long life cycle. They're going to be around for a while.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like the go-to spot to look at any video on the internet. I mean, the next biggest place would be technically Facebook.
Facebook, yeah,
but they just rip it off of YouTube, and then if you want another standalone site, that's almost
Vimeo.
It's Vimeo, yeah.
Yeah, those are the top three. Then Snapchat, I guess, kind of counts coming in there.
I don't know. It's just, but YouTube is king, so it's not going anywhere. Of course, people said that about MySpace.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can go the way of MySpace. It could be around and then slowly just die off over 4 or 5 years.
And then get bought out by another dying company.
It's just going to really depend what they do for the content creators. If they keep the creators around, they'll be able to keep the users around.
Exactly.
That is so. The big issue that they've been doing with the hashtag WTFU is causing a lot of issues for the creators, which Eli the computer guy, he was a YouTuber. He had about 700,000 subscribers. He left YouTube. It's just become so bad for him. He's like, okay, I'm done with it. Bye. And just left.
Yeah.
Which
I hope that doesn't have to happen to us.
It could be a trend starting. I mean, if we see, all the big YouTubers going over to another website, being a small-time creator, we're going to have to follow.
Yeah, exactly, because you got to go where the people are. Even though you may not want to and it's something you're used to, you got to do it.
I mean, I was even thinking about getting these podcasts and these shows going up on multiple sites, on Vimeo, on Facebook, on YouTube.
Well, see, that's not a bad idea because that's what most things do. Most websites or whatever do. They'll put it up on their own webpage if they have one. They'll put it up on YouTube if they have one. And Instagram, Vine, Facebook.
We'll be working on a website, but that will be coming.
Yeah, that'll be a little bit.
That'll be months down the road.
But we're just saying, that's what most of them do anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea, just because some websites or apps or whatever are designed for certain user bases, and you gotta spread your videos or your content across.
I know for websites, for the big time creators, that's where they make more money than YouTube. They're making 100% of the ad revenue off of that. They're getting their products sold on there. They're able to get all sorts of stuff going on their actual websites.
See, but a website's a lot harder to start.
Yeah, it is. Which is kind of why we're here on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
So besides that, we've had not a lot else going on this week.
Yeah, I think we've covered it all.
No, Google, they're now able to locate where you are.
Yep.
So they have.
I mean, they've always been able to do that, but via picture. Yeah,
via picture, they're able to just look at your surroundings and tell where you are globally. It's able to locate the town. The percentages it gave off didn't sound very good. It was like,
well, that seems
10%, 25% hit and miss ratio, but
still, it's in its infancy.
It's much better
Yeah.
than a human can. Is the thing. It's like, if you just showed me a picture of a random place in Rome, I would be like, I have no clue where this is. I wouldn't be able to guess. But it's able to figure it down to like a 10% accuracy rating, which is
better than nothing.
Much better than nothing.
And it'll get better. It'll get better.
Well, I mean, it makes me concerned though. I mean, Google's, they've got pictures of everywhere, of all the roads everywhere.
Pretty much.
And they'll be able to tell where you are just by pictures from here on out.
I can prove you wrong on that. North Korea, they don't have a single street view in North Korea.
Not yet.
Ha! Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's only going to be so long until eventually Korea is going to open up their market and go, hey, we want to grow our economy now.
Or they overthrow Kim Jong-dick. Or until they want to overthrow Kim Jong-un.
Come on, we don't want to get our video flagged now.
Yeah, sorry.
Taken down by dictator leadership.
You can edit that.
Well, that's actually, I think, all we had to talk about today.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Please leave your comments in the section down below. Like and subscribe. We'll be here whenever you guys be leaving comments.
Yep, pretty much. Thank you.
Bye! Who's 3DS? XL?
Mine.
XL? I guessed it.
Yeah, the 3DS is like, they don't even make it anymore. They don't make the 3DS anymore.
In Mother Russia, all 3DS is always XL. In
Remember-
Mother Russia, everything XL.
Are women XL? Our dicks are not XL though. That's the one thing. They're so cold and smart.